Hi there, and this is a video review of the major Forex pairs for week 51 of 2019. So currently it's the 15th of December, and I will walk you through how I look at the major Forex pairs for the coming week. Again, that's week 51. There have been some interesting developments going on with the Brexit and especially with the US dollar. So let's first look to the weekly charts. Let's look at the dollar index, which I have open right here. So the dollar index has been moving upward in a channel, and it looked like it was breaking down lower out of this channel, but on last Friday the dollar index closed within the channel, so and forming a long wick to the downside. So and it's resting on a demand zone, so it looks like the dollar will be strengthening and has a higher probability of going up. So this will give us an indication when looking at other pairs that have the dollar in them. So let's go to the first pair. That's the Aussie dollar against the US dollar. The Aussie dollar, US dollar has been going down strongly, and it looks like it's kind of consolidating here at the bottom, and it found some support around here where there's a demand zone, and price has been going up to the top of the channel, and again a long wick has formed, and it looks like it could be that prices will go down again, continuing down inside of the channel. So if we extend the channel a little bit like this, it's kind of an indecision pattern that's formed here, because there's a long wick on the top and a long wick here at the bottom, almost the same length. So we'll have to take a close look at the daily. Let's do that. Let's see what's going on here. So looking at the daily, I think a nice pattern has formed here. We have some supply area going on here at the top of the channel, and then this pattern looks like a long wicked candle, and it's also an engulfing candle. So one play to the downside could be something like this, getting in at the break lower of this candle with stop above the wick, and then let's see if we can target a 1 to 2. So this is the bottom of the kind of consolidation pattern that's going on here, and that's a 2.15, one time risk against 2.15 reward. So this is about 1 to 2. So this is how I would play this pair coming week. So that could be a possible trade. Let's continue on to the Euro USD. Same kind of thing happening over here. Let's switch back to the weekly. Also, the Euro USD has been trending down strongly, forming this channel that I drew in. Again, here at the bottom there's a supply zone, a demand zone, and here at the top there's a supply zone which coincides with the channel, with the top of the channel. Let's have a look at the daily. So the daily, it's even more clear. We can see again this supply zone, and here's the demand zone. So a long wick formed on Friday, indicating a rejection of higher prices. So this also shows me that there's a high probability that this pair will go lower. So let's draw that in. Let's make a short position like this. So here we can target maybe the bottom of this range as well. Let's go 1 to 2. It's about here. So this is another way to play this. So it's quite a large stop, so the position will not be too big, but that doesn't matter because there's enough room to go down. Probably we will see some stallments around here, so maybe if we'll manage the trade, we'll get out at 1 to 1, 1 to 2, and let's see if it breaks lower. We can maybe even play it down to the bottom of the channel at a 1 to 3. But I'll be putting in a static take profit probably at a 1 to 2, and then manage the trade as we get triggered in, and then see how it evolves. Okay, the pound USD. Of course, there's been Brexit going on, a lot of news. Boris Johnson, who won the elections, and getting ready to leave the EU with Great Britain. So we saw a lot of action here. Let's go to the weekly. So the pound also has been in a downtrend here, and it has broken out a few weeks ago, and then it formed kind of a flag here, and then it broke out of this flag to move higher, and now it stopped and rejected off of this resistance formed by this stop here, and it's not quite clear to me where price will go from here. Let's see if the daily shows us something more clear. No, it's not more clear to me where price will go. Let me see. No, I would not be trading the pound USD the coming week. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar, let's switch to the weekly. Also been trending down, and then we had some kind of channel, steep channel going up here, and now we are resting at the top of this longer term channel, and kind of an indecision candle on the weekly formed here. So price can go either way. If we break higher, we can go higher up to this resistance area, and if we break lower, we can go lower, maybe again to the bottom of the channel. So let's look at the daily. What does it look like? The daily, it looks quite more interesting, as a pin bar has formed here at this top of the channel, and we could see some lower action, some short action. Let's see. Let me delete these lines. So one way to trade this, again short, would be like this. Place an entry at the break lower of Friday's candle with a stop a little bit above the high of Friday's candle, and then maybe to this support area we can trade it. So that's 1 to 2 risk to reward, a little bit more. And let's see what happens if price goes back into this channel, and let's see what kind of action will form here. If it breaks lower, we can trade it all the way back to the beginning of this ascending channel, so to here more or less, and then we could play it something like this. So that's 1 to 5, almost 1 to 6 risks to reward. But let's not be greedy. Let's see if we can get to here. and then let's see how we can manage the trade. Okay, that's the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's go to the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let's first focus on the weekly. There's been a ascending channel, widening channel going on here, and some consolidation at this area. So you can see price has been moving up, and now it's made a lower high and a lower low. So it's kind of consolidating within this bigger channel, and it has almost reached the bottom of this channel. And on the daily, we've identified some support area here. So let's look on the daily, what that looks like. So here we have support or a demand zone, and we have some indecision going on here. So one way to trade this would be waiting for a breakout. Let me see, where's the trend line here, to wait for a breakout above here to trade it all the way up to this resistance on the top here, or see if we can get a break out of the channel. In case we get a break out of the channel, we'll be looking for a trade that can go way lower all the way back to here. And if it breaks higher, we will just trade it to this level. So I'm considering putting in an order that trades, that triggers when we break higher, and I'll put my stop below the support area here, and then see if we can reach this level. So that's a nice 1 to 2 trade. USD Japanese yen. Let's see what's going on here. To remove this. Let's go back to the weekly. Looking at the weekly, we had this move higher, and now we're kind of going in a wedge pattern, and I've been looking for breakouts here and here, because the overall direction seems to be going higher. We're making higher lows here and lower highs, and price action is becoming constrained, and I'm thinking in the long run we might see a breakout higher here. So let me just draw that in, something like this. That's the most probable scenario, and we will be looking for a target right here at the top here as a first target, and then we have to see. So let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, if we hit this target, then we're also kind of at this level here. So this is really a strong level. I will be keeping an eye on, but we're not there yet. This is looking at the weekly, so this can take many weeks to play out. Let's go back to the daily, see if we have some trade opportunities there. So looking on the daily, we are in a channel going up, and I've identified a zone here that can act as resistance, and a zone here that acts as support. And today we saw a pin bar, Friday we saw a pin bar that rejected off of this area. One way to trade this is to go short at the break of this candle, and then see if we can get a nice risk to reward, but it doesn't look like it. And what I often see with these kind of patterns is that we first see some more action higher, and then another pattern might form there. But let's draw in a possible short position. It will look something like this. So if price breaks lower, we trade it lower, and we'll put our stop then above the pin bar, and then we can trade maybe this low here, and then we have to monitor what's about to happen on this level here. So if we get some stallment here, the price will stall at this level, we might get out at a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and else if it breaks, we might go lower to 1-to-2, or maybe even lower to here or even here. But to begin, I will probably put a take profit at this level, that if price happens to move very quickly down, I'm out quickly at a 1-to-2. But if price breaks here and then starts stalling here, then I might get out at this area, or maybe move my stop to break even, something like that, and see if we can then go lower. And if I've placed my stop at break even, then I might extend my take profit, just to make sure if price breaks violently down here and goes all the way down to here in one move, that I am out after this momentum move down. But for now, this is how I would enter an order and see how it plays out. Okay, USD Swiss franc. Let's go to the weekly again. Also an interesting pattern forming here. It looks like we will see on the long term, we will see a breakout higher, because price is making higher lows here, 1, 2, and then 3. Let's throw that in, and this is another one here. Okay, and here it's making highs at the same height, so price is being compressed, and usually when that happens, price breaks out violently to the upside if the top is flat and the bottom is making higher lows. So there's a high probability for a breakout to the upside, but for now we're not there yet. We're kind of in the middle, and prices are very compressed. Let's go to the daily. Let's see if there are any opportunities. I don't see any direct opportunities at the moment. It kind of looks like there's a move higher in the works, because we have some wicks here that are rejecting lower prices, but they are not clearly coinciding with some levels that I can see, and so I would want to wait for some move higher, and then let me draw that. Maybe we'll get some action like this. Prices breaks into this kind of channel here. So we have some sort of channel going on here. So here and here, and then if it moves back into the channel, we might see something like this. So price moves back into the channel and then goes down to the channel line, and then we might see a pattern forming there that would indicate a move higher. So I'm on a holding pattern here. Okay, so that's it for the 7 pairs and the dollar index that I'm looking at for the coming week. I hope this helps you to get a clear understanding of how I trade. If you are interested in to see how I trade and to learn more, go to my website at www.davetron.com, and I'll see you next time.